Good evening. Welcome to this first Jazz Vespers of the new year, hosted by our newly consolidated but not yet named church that has roots in the Brea Congregational UCC and the Congregational Church of Fullerton. I'm Chrissy Siva, and I'm one of the church's pastors, and I'm so glad to have you all here this evening. We've had some changes of plans today, and the first one is that many of you know Christy, a beloved member of this community, and she is not doing well, and so Sarah has gone to be with her. And I'd like to ask you all to take a moment. This is an interfaith, no-faith service here, so whatever your comfort is, if you would like to call it prayer, or just a moment of silence to hold Christy in light and in love, and to ask for blessings on her and her family and her care team right now. Amen. The word Vespers describes a time of prayerfulness held in the evening. This is a time of reflection and meditation, a pause in our busy lives and schedules to enjoy some music and some community. This service is open to people of all faiths and to those who don't hold any particular faith or religious tradition. We have sought to make this a space that is open and welcoming to all, and a space that will feed your spirit. We meet at this threshold between day and night, in this liminal time of day that holds a particular energy as we prepare to close the day and move into rest. Our theme tonight invites us to reflect on the new year, what hopes we have for the year ahead, and what we seek to release and leave with the year that has ended. I am so pleased to welcome this evening our incredible musical team who will guide us through this theme and this time of reflection. We have the Ron Kobayashi Trio, which includes Baba Elefante, Steve Dixon, and of course, Ron Kobayashi. We are so grateful to also have our incredible vocalist, Andrea Miller, here with us tonight. Andrea stepped in for us when our original vocalist got laryngitis. So, as I understand it, we have a lot of changes to the numbers in here, and so you're just gonna really feel the jazz tonight and go along with the spirit of it. Each Jazz Vespers service, we highlight an organization that does justice work. A few months ago, a couple folks in our local community reached out to share about the wonderful work being done by Shane Dodswhite, that was it, at Eagle's Nest Ministry in Uganda. You'll hear more about this organization later in the service. Eagle's Nest operates several schools. These schools provide housing and food to students who could not otherwise obtain an education. They also have a medical clinic, and they fulfill these basic needs for hundreds of children year after year. As we consider what beautiful, loving, and just things we seek to grow in this new year, this organization gives us a chance to support children in what they need today to make their futures full of hope. You will have an opportunity to donate to Eagle's Nest later. If you write a check, please make a note in the memo line whether you'd like the donation to go toward the cost of Jazz Vespers by writing Jazz Vespers in the memo line, or toward Eagle's Nest by writing Eagle's Nest in the memo line. We truly appreciate all your donations. Made out to either of our churches, the Congregational Church of, so sorry. Thank you for waving me down. They go to Brea Congregational Church. There you go. Makes it easier for our treasurers. There you go. Make them out to Brea. BCUCC, it's all here. This is accurate in your bulletin. And now, as we bring our full selves into this time of music and reflection, hear these words written by Denise Levertov for the new year. I have a small grain of hope, one small crystal that gleams clear colors out of transparency. I need more. I break off a fragment to send to you. Please take this grain of hope so that mine won't shrink. Please share your fragment so that yours will grow. Only so, by division, will hope increase, like a clump of irises, which will cease to flower unless you distribute the clustered roots. Unlikely source, clumsy and earth-covered, of grace.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Jazz, as you know, is improvisatory, and I'm really happy that today we're going to get to show off some of that improvisation because, as Pastor Christy said, this is completely unrehearsed. We had another vocalist set. We have different vocalists for every Vespers. A wonderful vocalist named Brian Yamamoto set, you might have heard, and he got laryngitis and can't sing today. So I called Andrea literally just a few hours ago, and Andrea was gracious enough to say yes and come down. She just got back from Mexico. She did a gig in Mexico, got back, I guess, late last night, and she's here. Yes. And everything is unrehearsed. We just kind of picked out some tunes. We didn't really get a chance to really figure things out. So it's going to be totally improvised, and we'll see what happens, which kind of makes it exciting. So, Andrea Miller.
Time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be the one you want to see in the evening when the day is through. Where I only know what I know, and the passing years will show. You kept my love so young and new, and time after time I tell myself that I'm so lucky to Time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be the only one you run to see in the evening when the day is through. Well, I only know what I know, and the passing years will show that you left my love so young and new. And time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. You, so lucky to be loving you. Thanks. Thank you.
New Day's Lyric by Amanda Gorman. May this be the day we come together. Morning, we come to mend. Withered, we come to weather. Torn, we come to tend. Battered, we come to better. Tethered by this year of yearning, we are learning that though we weren't ready for this, we have been readied by it. We steadily vow that no matter how we are weighed down, we must always pave a new way forward. This hope is our door, our portal. Even if we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it, to leave the known and take the first steps. So let us not turn to what was normal, but reach toward what is next. What was cursed, we will cure. What was plagued, we will prove pure. Where we tend to argue, we will try to agree. Those fortunes we forswore, now the future we foresee. Where we weren't aware, we are now awake. Those moments we missed are now these moments we make, the moments we meet, and our hearts, once altogether beaten, now altogether beat. Come, look up with kindness yet, for even solace can be sourced from sorrow. We remember, not just for the sake of yesterday, but to take on tomorrow. We heed this old spirit in a new day's lyric. In our hearts, we hear it. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne. Be bold, sang time this year. Be bold, sang time. For when you honor yesterday, tomorrow ye will find. Know what we fought need not be forgot nor for none. It defines us, binds us as one. Come over, join this day just begun. For wherever we come together, we will forever overcome.
see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, 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 yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. And here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Oh, take it away, Ron. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Yeah, yeah. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone, 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 gone. Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yeah, it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yeah, it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Gonna be
your tall, tall heart. This year has been joyful and wild and loving and lost and worn out and worn soft and inspired and tender and run ragged and full of sorrow and gratitude and terror and grief and searching and being stubborn and listening and opening and opening and opening. And this year has been finally finding and almost quitting and finally learning. And this year, everyone I know had a broken heart. Everyone I know cried in private on their way home. And not everyone I know woke up the next morning. And not everyone I know wanted to, even though they did. And this year I stood inside of a redwood tree and thought, this is the sweetest day of my whole life. And 2 months later, I was sobbing in a parking lot thinking, this is the worst day of my whole life. And a few months later, I was dancing in my living room and saying, this is the best day of my whole. Have you ever seen the seed of redwood tree? So tiny. And all of that everything inside of it. And all of this everything inside of us. Happy, lost, searching, tender new year to your tall, tall heart.
If you've looked ahead at your calendar for this new year, you might have noticed that this year is a leap year. I mentioned this to my kids the other day, unprepared for the questions, rational questions that I simply could not answer. Where does the extra day come from? Why do we have it? Why every 4 years? Why not add something extra every year to balance it out so it all works? In the end, I came back to the truth that we usually ignore. Our marking of time is totally arbitrary. Time is both a circle and a line, and actually non-existent in the sense that all we have is now, and now, and now. We don't have yesterday or tomorrow, only this present moment. And yet, there is something in the turning over of the calendar. Some years it brings relief, some years grief, some years joy and hope. It can be a time to set new goals or resolutions, and too often they are steeped in the messages of our culture. Resolutions about our health and the shape of our bodies and social standards of beauty. I saw on TikTok someone note an epiphany they had when they realized they'd been doing New Year's resolutions all wrong. A friend had told them that their New Year's resolution was to try 6 new types of cheeses this year. What a brilliant idea! Not a resolution to change oneself, but to experience something new. When we came up with the theme for Jazz Vespers tonight for a New Year theme, I wanted to be sure not to play into any of the toxic New Year's messages. Every year, I recall the wise words from Nadia Bolz-Weber. There is no resolution that, if kept, will make you more worthy of love. Hear that again. Let it sink into your soul. There is no resolution that, if kept, will make you more worthy of love. This is true because you are worthy of love just as you are. You are worthy of grace. You are beloved, you brilliant and unique configurations of stardust. It was only in preparing for this service that I realized these words of Weber are from a longer blessing. And so here it is for this new year. A New Year's blessing for realists. As you enter this new year, as you pack away the Christmas decorations and get out your stretchy pants, as you face the onslaught of false promises offered you through new disciplines and elimination diets, as you grasp for control of yourself and your life and this chaotic world, may you remember that there is no resolution that, if kept, will make you more worthy of love. There is no resolution that, if kept, will make life less uncertain and allow you to control your aging parents and your teenage children and the way other people act. So this year, as every year, may you just skip the part where you resolve to be better, do better, and look better this time. Instead, may you give yourself the gift of really, really low expectations. Not out of resignation, but out of generosity. May you expect so little of yourself that you can be super proud of the smallest accomplishments. May you expect so little of the people in your life that you actually notice and cherish every small, lovely thing about them. May you expect so little of the service industry that you notice more of what you do get and less of what you don't, and then just tip really well anyhow. May you expect to get so little out of 2024 that you can celebrate every single thing it offers you, however small, because you deserve joy and not disappointment. So I wish you a happy as possible new year. This brilliant blessing has such truth. And still, we may want to mark the new year somehow. Mark the turning over of the calendar. Mark that we now have to remind ourselves over and over again to write 24 instead of 23. And so you might have picked up one of those double-sided doodling pages with some lines to guide you as you came in. Or we have some blank paper if you prefer. And if you don't have any of these things and you'd like to, Francie has them for you. Just wave at her and she will come and bring you any of those things. You might want to just simply reflect in your mind without coloring or writing if you are that kind of processor. I need to write. It's a choose your own adventure meditation. I'm going to give folks a moment to gather the supplies they need. You might want a few colors for 2023 and some for 2024. Anyone else? Oh. I maybe needed 2 volunteers to help. This gives our online folks a chance to gather a piece of paper if you'd like to. Anyone else? Don't be shy. Francie, up here. Thank you. Everyone good? Let's take a moment to settle into this space. And you can keep waving at Francie. My apologies, Francie. Oh, no. Thank you. We'll settle into this space. Breathe for a moment. Appreciate this moment. Give thanks for this beautiful building, for this incredible musical team we have here tonight, for this time, for now. We begin with reflecting back over 2023. Perhaps there is a color that resonates with your past year, or several colors. As you meditate, you may want to begin filling in one side of your page with this color. What blessings found you this past year? What were the moments of joy? What new experiences did you have? What love, relationships, family, and friends blessed you in 2023? What inspired you? What generated new ideas for you? What gave you hope? What new truths did you learn? What were the challenges of 2023? What were the losses? What or who are you grieving? What feels heavy about the year? How have the hard parts of 2023 shaped you? Take a breath. Holding both the blessings and the challenges. Take a breath. And on the exhale, release what you can. The new year does not heal all wounds, and still we are here, breathing, loving, and being loved, seeking connection with each other and the earth and life itself. I invite you to turn your page over. What colors speak to you in this new year of 2024? Same colors? Different colors? Some the same, some different? We are still ourselves in this new year, still worthy of love just as we are. As you think ahead about what this new year may hold for you, what are the challenges? What loss and grief have come with you across the threshold of the new year? In those losses, I invite you to look for the love that the grief holds. What difficulties do you anticipate? Are they difficulties you need to hold today in this moment? Or are they difficulties for another day that perhaps you can hold more lightly right now, loosening your grip? What blessings do you hope for this year? What are you looking forward to, however big or small? What will you allow to bring you joy this year? How will you cultivate joy in small daily ways? What and who do you love this year? What are you passionate about? What ignites a fire within you? Who sees you for who you truly are and loves you still? Take a breath, holding both the challenges and the blessings. Take a breath and give thanks for this moment. Letting go as much as possible of what comes next. Knowing we cannot control life and its uncertainties. And yet we have now. like the thin edge of the paper between these two sides, this moment, and this moment, and this one. Perhaps this moment is like the seed of which Andrea Gibson speaks, so tiny yet holding everything inside it, everything inside us. And so happy, lost, searching, tender New Year to your tall, tall heart.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds over white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful, wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful Thank you.
Tonight, we get to hear from Donna Edmond, a longtime supporter of Eagles Nest School. And she's also a member, as I understand it, at our neighboring congregation and good friends, the First Christian Church of Fullerton. She will share with us some of her experience being involved with Eagles Nest, and we'll show some videos from Pastor Shane, who is the director of the program, so you can get a better sense of the work that they do.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. It's a wonderful world. Today I have the honor of introducing you to my friend and pastor, Shane Dodswhite. He and his family have a church and a school, several schools in Uganda. And just last June, we went back to see them once again. So we go once in a while so we can visit with the kids, visit with Shane, visit with his family. And we had met Shane when he was a student here at Cal State Fullerton. How about that? So he was a student at the time. After he graduated, he went back and took over the school for his mom, so she was able to retire. His brother took over the church, so his father could retire. So they are now still very active, all of them, in their church and in this school. So not only does the Dodswhite family minister those in their church, they started with this church started, and you'll hear from Pastor Shane in a minute. The church started in the 60s when his grandfather, who was a missionary, his grandparents are a missionary from Germany, hence the name Dodswhite for a Ugandan, and they adopted Shane's father. And then, of course, they kept the same name. So Eagles Nest School provides excellent education as well as food, a safe place for the students to live. They serve students from what we would call elementary school. They have a baby class, which we would call preschool, but elementary school through junior college. The school in Kampala has 800 students. The one that's a boarding school. Some kids live off campus, most of them live on. And then there's a school in Nakalanda Island. You can see the list that's in your program. The one in Nakalanda Island has 300 students. Those are day students. And also on Nakalanda Island, there's a medical clinic. In fact, the school in Kampala was now honored as a top school in all of the country. So they have students that come from all over East Africa. Some of them can afford to be there. Most of them can't. So tonight I have two videos that I'm going to share with you. Here's Pastor Shane. Here's my husband, Bill. And the other person, that would be me. This is from his visit last fall here. So tonight I have two videos. The first one we're going to meet Pastor Shane as he introduces himself to you. So it's a recorded video, but he wanted to do that so that you can get an idea of who he is and what he does. So if we could do that, that would be great.
Greetings from Eagle's Nest Ministries, Uganda, East Africa. I am so glad to share with you what God is doing in our ministry. In our ministry, we have the privilege of reaching people of all ages. Our ministry is able to teach and minister to the kids from elementary school all the way to junior college level, with over 800 kids in our school. We also have the privilege to go to the deepest parts of the country to share the love of God. In our school, we feed the kids 3 meals a day. Most of them stay with us on our campus here in Uganda. Our kids come from all kinds of backgrounds. We have kids who come from refugee situations, who have been displaced because of war in their home countries. We have kids who come from extremely poor backgrounds, who could soon be married off or put to work at such a young age if there were no opportunities for an education for them. We have former street kids in our school and have had the opportunity to take them off the streets and give them a chance that I believe all kids deserve. As I said, many of our kids come from all sorts of backgrounds. They come from witchcraft backgrounds and Muslim backgrounds. But as a Christian boarding school, we have been able to minister to them on a daily basis. And as a result, we see many kids from these backgrounds give their lives over to God and ask to be baptized. I'm actually a third-generation missionary in Uganda. My grandparents came in the 1960s and adopted my father. My father carried on this mission in the 1980s, and I have been continuing this mission for the last 10 years to show the love of God to the people in this beautiful country and give these young and older people a chance at a future. I pray you can help me support these kids as well as share the gospel in the different villages in Uganda. God bless you.
So as I said, some of the kids can pay their tuition, they can pay their room and board, their food, their medical expenses. Very few can. Some can pay maybe a few dollars a term. Most of them can't pay anything. And so when we were there in June, we walked through the neighborhood, which is quite a slum area, that Pastor Shane can pull some of the kids out as he has room to be able to give them a safe place to be. And the kids that he chooses are the kids that are oftentimes they're girls starting into adolescence because they're often abused, and this would be a safe place for them to be. There's often street kids that have no place, and it's the place for them to be that's safe. So in the past few years, funds donated have been used not only to educate and care for the kiddos, but they created a larger clean kitchen preparing food. What they had been using before was a shelter made out of wood and corrugated tin. And when it rained, it was pretty muddy in there. And so now they have an actual building, a brick building that's been finished for their kitchen. Same for their toilets and showers. They now have shower doors. They now have stall doors, things that we take for granted. They actually have a clean place for showering and for toileting. The current project that Pastor Shane is working on is a dormitory. So he would take more kids if he had more place to put them. So right now they're and I'm going to show you in just a second a video of the boys' dorm, the younger boys' dorm. We kind of decided to do a little snippet of what you would be able to see for the dorms. But some of the girls are actually in the classroom. So every day they have to roll up their bedding, put it to the side, they have class, and then at night they roll it back out and have no room for any personal items. So he'd like for it to be able to build, he's starting the building already, of a large girls' dorm, so the boys can spread into where the girls are sleeping now, so they can spread out, and the girls will have a new place to have their lodging, and have room for their personal things, and have a gathering place that's indoors. The next video then is Pastor Shane. You'll see some of the sleeping areas. This is for the little boys. And his call is for funding to build that new dormitory so the existing students have more room and also they can stay healthier. So let's run that second video.
I'll just show you a couple of the dorms. Right now I'm gonna show you the boys' dorm. As you can see, we got a whole bunch of shoes here. And so, we have the boys' dorm over here. Hello everyone. Hello, Uncle Shin. How are you today?
We are alright, smart, obedient, and ready to consolidate the power of English Primary School.
That's normal. Okay. So as you can see here, we're a bit squashed. The beds are squashed together, and the space is not enough for these kids. And so we need extra space. As you can see here, there's even nowhere to. How do you get through here? Now if I need to get to that bed, where do I pass? You jump, huh? Let's come closer. So from here, you go here, and then I jump from bed to bed to reach that bed. What about over there? Because it's nowhere to jump. You pass down here. Okay. So as you can see, we need to expand this area so they have more space to move. Because you can imagine when someone gets sick, it passes around pretty quickly. So thank you so much for showing us your dormitory. Okay?
His voice. But you can see the situation. He wants to be able to take more kids. He wants to be able to give them an education. In Uganda, there's no education that's provided. You know, like we are blessed in our country that we have an education system that we all have access to. That's not the case in Uganda. And in the schools, most of the schools, you have to have a uniform to go to school. So if you don't have tuition fees, you don't have money for a uniform, their kids, what do? They don't go to school. So what Pastor Shane is doing is he provides a safe place to be. He provides their education, clothing for them, not just their uniform, but other clothing for them, their medical expenses. And so tonight you have an opportunity, if you're interested. Let me just say, if the ministries of Eagle Nest School are on your heart, if you get that little tingle in the back of your neck as you're watching these things and hearing this, maybe you're moved, you know, to want to support Pastor Shane and his school, consider a donation, and any amount is appreciated. So any amount's appreciated. So a one-time offering is appreciated, and ongoing offerings are appreciated. Tonight, in the beginning of your program, it says where you can write your check, and then the church will provide, gather all those funds and provide a check to Pastor Shane. And then if you'd like to sponsor a student, I have a picture of my student. Bill and I sponsor a student. This is Sana, and she writes me the cutest letters. So she puts little diagrams on them, little pictures on them. So she writes a couple of times a month. I write a couple of times a month. It's really cool to be able to be in her life, and she's in my life, even though we're across the world from each other. Right, so if you'd like to sponsor a child, that's another way that you could help with the school. You can either do a sponsor for a term for a student, or you can sponsor a student for the year. And if you're interested in that, let me know, and I can talk with you about the amounts that is. So just talk with me afterwards. I'll be here this evening, so come and ask me questions. We've known Pastor Shane for a long time and his family for a very long time. Just come and ask me, questions. And I'm so glad that we have this wonderful jazz. So thank you. And it's a wonderful world. Oh, if you want to contact Pastor Shane directly, I brought these little cards. I have some with me, and then there's some out in the entryway. And it has his contact information. He'd be happy to answer any of your questions personally as well. So I'm here. Come and ask me questions. Thank you for being here, and it's a lovely evening.
If I can reach the stars and pour one down for you and shine it on my eye so you can see the true. But this love I have inside is really what it seems. But for now I find it's only in my dreams I can change the world. I can be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love is really something good, baby, if I could change the world. If I could be queen, even for a day, I'd take you as my king. I'd have no other way, and our love would rule this kingdom we have made. But for now I find I'm living for the day I can change the world. I can be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love is really something good, baby, if I could change the world. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maestro Kobayashi. If I could be queen, even for a day, I'd take you as my king. I have it no other way, and our love would rule this kingdom that we have made. But for now I find I'm wishing for the day I can change the world. Oh, I can be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love is really something good, baby, if I could change the world, baby, if I could change the world, baby, if I could change the world. Ooh.
Maybe. There we go. We have brought our gifts, our donations together today. Through our sharing, we envision collective transformation, where your gifts and your unique beauty, you in all your diversity, join with those around you right now to be more than any of us is individually. I am a collection of stardust come together in this time and place, and so are you. And together we seek a world full of beauty, full of love, full of justice. We bless these offerings that our spirits might be filled in this time of music, poetry, and reflection. We bless these offerings for what they might bring to the lives of the students in Uganda who seek to learn and grow in a safe and loving place. May it be so.
It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. And time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay. Oh, it's very, very, very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever, ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we be passing fancies, and in time may go. Oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here, our love is here, our love is here to stay. Thank you.
I believe we have one more song tonight. Okay, good. But before we close, I wanted to invite you to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram, and we post information there about upcoming events, including reminders for our next Jazz Vespers, which will be on April 14th. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for joining in this sacred and holy time. I hope your spirit is full to overflowing, that you may share your love and gifts with a world that needs the fullness of who you are. So may the light of the stars and moon carry you home from here with hearts a little fuller, nurtured by this community, by music, and the gift of this time together.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something with that morning love bears heavy on my mind, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, such a lovely day. The day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way. Well, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, such a lovely, lovely day. Lovely, lovely day. Such a lovely, lovely day. day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face. And when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, well, then I look at you and the world's alright with me, yeah. Oh, just one look at you and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, yeah. Such a lovely day. Such a lovely, such a lovely, such a lovely day. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, such a lovely, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Yeah, such a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Such a lovely, 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 lovely day. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ron and Baba and Steve. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, Bob Elefante, Steve Dixon, Andrea Miller. Thank you, Andrea. Have a fantastic 2024. See you at church.